The world is changing. The pace of this change is unprecedented, driven by technological advancements, economic shifts, and evolving political landscapes. A new group of countries is gaining power. These nations are not just emerging economies, they are becoming pivotal players on the global stage. This group is called BRICS. Formed in the early 21st century, BRICS has grown in influence and ambition. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries represent diverse cultures, vast populations, and significant economic potential. These countries are reshaping the global order. They are advocating for a more balanced distribution of power and resources. They are challenging the dominance of the West. For decades, Western countries have held the reins of global governance, but BRICS is pushing back. BRICS aims to create a more just and equitable world. Their vision includes fairer trade practices, inclusive economic growth, and sustainable development. They want to reform global governance and economic rules. BRICS believes in multipolarity. This concept promotes a world where multiple nations have significant influence, rather than a single superpower. This means a world with many centers of power. It encourages cooperation and competition among various global players, fostering innovation and progress. They want to reduce dependence on Western institutions. By creating their own financial mechanisms, BRICS aims to provide alternatives to the World Bank and IMF. They are promoting South-South cooperation. This involves strengthening ties between developing countries, sharing knowledge, and building mutual support systems. This means increased collaboration between developing countries. From technology transfer to joint ventures in agriculture, BRICS is fostering a spirit of partnership. The rise of BRICS is a significant development in international relations. It signals a shift towards a more inclusive and representative global governance structure. It marks a shift in global power dynamics. As BRICS continues to grow in influence, the world watches closely, anticipating the changes this new force will bring. The term BRIC was first coined in 2001. It was a time of significant global economic shifts, and the world was looking for new leaders in the financial arena. Jim O'Neill, an economist at Goldman Sachs, used it. He was analyzing the potential of emerging markets and saw a pattern that others had not yet recognized. He predicted the future economic dominance of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. These countries were showing rapid growth and had the potential to reshape the global economic landscape. The acronym caught on quickly. It was simple, catchy, and represented a new wave of economic powerhouses. It became a shorthand for the rising economic power of these nations. Investors and policymakers began to pay closer attention to these markets. In 2006, the foreign ministers of the BRIC countries met. This was a significant step, as it showed a willingness to collaborate on a formal level. This was their first formal meeting. It laid the groundwork for future cooperation and set the stage for more structured interactions. It marked the beginning of their collaboration. They discussed various issues, from economic policies to global governance, aiming to strengthen their collective influence. South Africa joined the group in 2010. BRIC became BRICS. This inclusion was strategic, as South Africa added a new dimension to the group's influence, particularly in the African continent. The group's goals expanded beyond economics. They began to focus on broader issues such as sustainable development, climate change, and social equity. They now included political cooperation and security. This evolution showed their commitment to not just economic growth, but also to playing a more significant role in global affairs. Over the years, BRICS has held numerous summits, resulting in various agreements and initiatives. Their influence continues to grow, shaping the future of international relations and global economic policies. As we look to the future, the impact of BRICS on the global stage is undeniable. Their collaboration represents a shift towards a more multipolar world, where emerging economies have a stronger voice and greater influence. BRICS nations represent a significant portion of the global economy. They account for a large share of global GDP. China is the world's second largest economy. India is rapidly catching up. Brazil, Russia, and South Africa are also major players in their respective regions.
The economic rise of BRICS is driven by several factors. These include rapid industrialization, large populations, and abundant natural resources. They have become major engines of global growth. Their expanding middle classes are fueling global demand. They are also attracting significant foreign investment.
BRICS countries are calling for reforms in global institutions. They argue that these institutions are outdated. They say the institutions do not reflect the current global power balance.
They want more representation and influence in these institutions. One of their main targets is the International Monetary Fund. They believe the IMF's voting rights are skewed. They favor Western countries. They are also pushing for reforms at the World Bank. They want the World Bank to pay more attention to the needs of developing countries.
Building alternatives. The new development bank and contingent reserve arrangement.
BRICS countries are not just criticizing existing institutions, they are also creating their own.
They established the New Development Bank, or NDB, in 2014. The NDB is headquartered in Shanghai, China.
It provides funding for infrastructure and sustainable development projects.
They also set up the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, or CRA. This is a pool of foreign exchange reserves.
It is designed to provide financial stability during crises.
These institutions are seen as alternatives to the IMF and World Bank. A balancing act. Internal dynamics within BRICS.
Despite their common goals, BRICS faces internal challenges. The member countries have diverse political systems and economic interests. They sometimes have disagreements on key issues. This can make it difficult for them to present a united front.
For example, China's growing economic and military might has raised concerns among some members. There are also territorial disputes between India and China. These internal dynamics can sometimes hinder BRICS' effectiveness in achieving its goals. Navigating challenges, external pressures and obstacles.
BRICS also faces external challenges. The West is wary of their growing influence. Some Western countries see BRICS as a threat to their dominance. They have tried to undermine BRICS' unity. They have also imposed economic sanctions on some members like Russia.
The Ukraine war has further complicated matters. BRICS has adopted a neutral stance on the conflict. This has drawn criticism from the West, which accuses BRICS of tacitly supporting Russia. Despite these challenges, BRICS has shown resilience. Section 8. Expanding horizons. The growing influence of BRICS.
BRICS is not a closed club. It is open to expanding its membership. Many countries have expressed interest in joining. This reflects the growing appeal of BRICS. It shows a desire for a more multipolar world.
In 2023, BRICS invited 6 new members to join. These countries are Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. This expansion will significantly increase BRICS's global footprint. It will also enhance its economic and political clout. Section 9. Towards a multipolar world, the future of BRICS and global governance. The future of BRICS is bright. As the world moves towards a more interconnected and interdependent global economy, BRICS nations are poised to play a pivotal role. It is well positioned to play a leading role in shaping the 21st century. With their combined economic might and diverse cultural backgrounds, BRICS countries bring a unique perspective to global governance. The group's commitment to multipolarity and South-South cooperation resonates with many countries. This approach challenges the traditional dominance of Western powers and offers an alternative model of development and cooperation. However, BRICS must overcome its internal and external challenges to realize its full potential. Internal disparities in economic development, political systems, and social structures can create friction among member states. It needs to strengthen its institutional framework and deepen cooperation among its members. By building robust institutions and fostering mutual trust, BRICS can enhance its collective bargaining power on the global stage. It also needs to navigate the complexities of a changing geopolitical landscape. The rise of new economic powers, shifting alliances, and global challenges such as climate change and cybersecurity require BRICS to be adaptable and forward-thinking. The world is watching closely as BRICS continues its journey towards reshaping the global order. Its success or failure will have profound implications for the future of global governance, economic development, and international relations. As BRICS nations work together to address these challenges, they have the potential to create a more balanced and equitable world order.